Okay, so now
we're live.
Hey, we're there.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Are we? Okay, so now
I see our faces. I see a grid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
like a few
okay,
seconds
okay.
after, but we're live.
Turn muting this YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. Yeah, I can hear myself talking in someone's YouTube. Okay, it's gone now. Okay, so hello, welcome.
We're live.
Turn muting this YouTube.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Sorry,
So I think all the participants can't have their YouTube on and and be off mute.
Hello, welcome. Everyone who's watching YouTube, please turn it off.
And mute yourself. I think.
Are we good? I'm so sorry.
There we go.
Oh, we are learning. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to assume it's going all right. And just kind of, yes. So I'm going to assume that unless I'm told otherwise by someone, I'm assuming it's just going forward. So great. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our first ever Amplify live streamed event. We had a little bit of a technical confusing moment there, and I don't actually know how we made this end up working, but we're here. So I'm really excited about that. And we will make sure we know how to make that happen easier in the future. But thank you so much for joining us. Whether you're joining us live or you're joining us later, we really appreciate you being here. All right, so before we kind of launch off here, I always like to have the pictures here today, which we have 5 pictures from all over the world. I would love to have you just kind of give a little wave so everyone can see who you are, who's the pictures in the room. There we go. Perfect. Thank you so much. And the panelists, if we can have your wave as well. Not you, Gabby. Gabby, your team Volition. We have Paul and Mira, who are our panelists here today, and then Gabby, Isabel, and myself. We're here. We are Team Volition, and I will be the host for today's event. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get started. And I'm gonna share my screen here. So if you are watching live or later on, please do feel free to say hello. We love to have as much engagement as possible. So get into the chat, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from. We have a Volition team member who's hanging out in the YouTube chat and is gonna let us know if, gonna let us know who's there, and so we can connect with you a little bit better. Alrighty, so as mentioned, welcome to our first ever Amplify, exclamation mark, very excited about this. So this event came about, people have asked us why we started doing live streamed events. And this really came out of the context of COVID and the fact that the virtual event, or the event landscape obviously changed quite a bit, but the virtual event landscape also changed, and there was kind of shifting needs in our community. So we've reached out to the pitchers in our community from across the globe and asked them, how can we best support you? And one of the things that came out was really this need for more visibility, need for practice and feedback as well. That's kind of a driving factor for why people come to our other pitch events. But for Amplify, we decided, okay, so if visibility is a really big piece here, one thing that we can do to support is to test out these live stream events and ask how people felt about that, and they were into it. So here we are, and we have 5 pitchers who have put their hand up in the air and said, we're willing to be part of this, this pilot Amplify event. So really excited to have you here. And our idea is to do these once monthly starting in the new year. I also want to mention that this event here today is sponsored by our friends over at Pivot and Pilot Creative. You'll learn a little bit more about them as they are also one of our prize sponsors here today, but we're really excited to have them here. And they've been a really good, really incredible supportive organization to us at Volition as well. And we're doing some rebranding work with them. So I'm really excited about that. And you'll see more about that in about a month. All right, so what to expect here today. Hopefully my screen's not cut off here. Okay, what to expect here today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about how you can connect with each other. I know it's a virtual space and it's a live streamed virtual space, so it's a little bit different, but we are going to do our best to make kind of opportunities for us to connect with one another. We'll have some introductions, you'll meet the panelists, and then we're gonna have our pitches. So we have 5 pitchers here today, as I mentioned. Each of them will have 3 minutes, and then they'll get a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of feedback, depending on what the panelists feel that they kind of need the most. We're going to talk to them a little bit about how we can help amplify what they're doing. And then after the 5 pitches are over, we will have an audience vote. I'll get more into that in just a moment. At the end of the event, we'll have a wrap up, of course, and then that's the event. Alrighty, so let's connect. Ways that we can connect with each other. So of course, those who are on YouTube, again, whether you're watching now or later, please do get in the chat and let us know who you are. Introduce yourself. I'll ask a few questions throughout the event here today, and feel free to get in there and provide your own questions, provide your feedback. If you hear something about the pictures and you'd like to learn about them, please do feel free to get in the chat and use that space as much as possible. We also have buzzit.ca. So our friends over at Buzzit, we've been working with them for quite a while now. They actually started out as pitchers at one of our events and now provide this voting platform to us, which is incredible. You can go there now at buzzit.ca and put in event key Amplify. And then you'll see each of the pitchers have created a profile. You can learn about them. You can see their social channels. You can connect with them. We have a little bit of information about our sponsors. And then at the end of the event, when we queue you, there's going to be voting opened, and you can vote on the top pitch of the day or night, depending on where you are, and they're gonna be earning some rewards for that placement. So please do get out there and connect with one another as much as we possibly can in this space. Another piece is to please let's make some noise, especially as it's our first ever live streamed pitch event. We would love to make some noise. You can find us on pretty much all the socials. At This is Volition. If you're going to talk about something that you hear, maybe it's a piece of feedback from one of the panelists, or you want to cheer on the pitchers here today, please do get on to LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, all the things, and hashtag #AmplifyVolitionPitch. Also, of course, we have this YouTube channel now, and we don't just have these events on here. We actually have IG Lives that we do every week. We also put that content onto YouTube, so feel free to come back and check out all these interviews. I think we've done somewhere around 20 of them at this point in time, which is really exciting. And it's entrepreneurs, again, from all across the globe, having 30-minute conversations with us. And then we have some Ask Me Anythings on there as well. And we will have more of these live streamed events. So make sure to subscribe so that you can keep up to date with our live stream content as well. Okay, so who are we? If you don't know who we are at this point in time, so we are Volition, and we're dedicated to elevating entrepreneurship through one-on-one coaching, through skills-based kind of training and programs, as well as through community events such as this one. So this, as I mentioned multiple times now, is our first live streamed event, but it's our 98th Volition pitch event, which we started these in 2016, and so we've been doing them for quite a while. We have our 100th coming up, which we're really excited about. And we've been doing them virtually since March. So since March 11th, actually, specifically. And I can't remember how many virtual ones we've done now, but I think it's somewhere in the 18 to 20 mark as well. So we've had over 5,400 audience members come out to these events in person and, of course, virtually. And then we've seen 870 pitches in that time. And in addition to that, I mentioned that we do skills-based training. These look like masterclasses and workshops. We do these with our partners, as well as do them kind of in-house once in a while as well. So you can make sure to get onto our newsletter and to check out volitionadvisors.com/events, and you can learn more about those. We do have 11 advisors, and we have 2 of them on our panel here today. And our 11 advisors all specialize in a different common knowledge gap or pain point for entrepreneurs, whether you're early or growth stage on your journey. So here today we have 2 of them. As I mentioned, you'll get to know them a little bit better in just a moment. I should also mention one of the panelists here today is my co-founder, Paul Broussard. He's in the picture on the top of the screen here with me. And it's just like, it's an absolute honor to be able to put this on with him today. And I think we've been talking about doing live streamed events for a while, but didn't know when it would actually become a reality. So this is really exciting for both of us as a team here today as well. All right, I wanted to ask who's in the room. I can't see what's happening over in YouTube. This is very disorienting a little bit, but for those who are watching us on YouTube Live, please feel free to capture this I can't remember the name of it right now. QR code, thank you, in my brain, thank you. So capture this QR code, go over to Slido. We'd love to know who's in the room and where you're joining us from. Also, feel free to get in the chat and let us know that as well. But we always like to know who's here. So please do jump over into that. I'm just gonna check in with my team here and see how things are going over on YouTube. And hello, everyone who's joining us there. If you are just joining us now, just as a heads up, I am Melanie Ewan. So I'm one of the co-founders and managing partners of Volition, and you're here in the right place at Amplify Volition live pitch event. All righty. Okay, so I think I've given you a little bit of time to do this, and I'm not seeing any kind of big things going on. We've got some people watching in the YouTube room. Hello, hello. And Isabel, have we launched the poll? Are we?
Yeah, so I can only do one at a time. So I've launched the who's in the room currently.
Okay. Awesome. This is a learning experience for us as well. We've done this on, okay, and there's a delay between Zoom and YouTube. We are learning, so thank you all so much for being here and learning with us. We have been doing this on Zoom for a long time, and it's a new experience using Slido and using YouTube. And as there's a delay, I will also just give that some time. And I think in the future, we'll just do one poll at a time. This is my lesson learned at this particular moment in time. Awesome. Thanks, Isabel. Okay. Should I move on?
Yeah, will we keep it open for a moment?
Sure. Okay, we'll keep it open for a moment. All righty. Okay, well, for those who are in the room as well, I had another question for you, which was, I'd love to know in the chat, if you'd like to jump there, I'd love to know, have you been to a Volition event before? And also, what one piece of advice a pitch advice that you would have for our pitchers here today? I think they've all pitched before, but it's always great to hear people's input. So if you have a piece of pitching advice that you'd love to let us know about, then please. Alrighty. No, I think my internet just cut out there for a moment, so I apologize for that as well. I'm in the middle of a storm in Western Ireland, so apologies for anything that happened in terms of my internet.
It's a little bit choppy, but I think you're back now.
Am I back now? Okay.
Yes.
I admit.
I think perhaps if we turn your video off, it might free up some bandwidth. I think we might have lost Melanie. All right, that's okay. That's fine. I'm sure she'll be back in a moment. I'll go ahead and share my screen. So, okay, so all right, so next up, if we could have our panelists introduce themselves. I'd like to have Mira, if you could join us and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. I'm Mira, and I'm a Volition advisor specializing in marketing and growth. Super excited to be here today. My passion lays in marketing. As you know, I've been in marketing all my life for 12 years already. So currently, I'm also working as a Vice President of Marketing at a company called Fundraiser. I'm very, very passionate about education, giving back to the community in any form. So I do a little bit of teaching. I do a little bit of, we have a masterclass here with Volition called Reverse Engineering Your Marketing and Metrics, which I'm very excited to present anytime, because it's all about, you know, like getting back to the numbers and all of that. So my specialization is mostly in multi-sided marketplaces, but I also work in B2B and B2C marketing. So really looking forward to hearing more about the pitches tonight and today, and just learning more about all the awesome products.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mira. And Paul, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Melanie kind of introduced me a little bit already. My name is Paul. I'm a 20-year entrepreneur as of last month, and have about 14, 15 years of fundraising and pitching experience. So all of that culminates in me being a master pitch and presentation coach, specializing in investor prep. And I get the honor of working with entrepreneurs and startups almost every day. And I'm also a teacher at 2 colleges and a father of 3, which is always exciting. And then I'm a co-founder of Volition with Melanie, very honored to be so, and then also have another company called Straws and Stuff. So yeah, really excited to be here. I'm excited to hear all the pitches from everybody, and can't wait to get going.
Perfect timing. I think Melanie has just rejoined us, so we'll give her a moment to reconnect again. Thank you very much, Mira and Paul. All right, so before we get on to the pitches, I would like to just I think Melanie is taking a moment. Hi. You're there? Oh, fantastic.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That's literally never happened before. I don't know what happened. Okay, so where did we get to?
So we are now on to the pitch rewards.
Oh, perfect. All right, I was actually going to invite Paul to jump in and let us know a little bit about the pitches or pitch rewards before we invite the pitchers to join us.
Yeah, so what is not shown here is that we at Volition will always do our best to facilitate and create connections for our pitchers. It's an ongoing thing that we do a lot of times in the background, whereas we find great connections and purposeful connections that are useful for our pitch alumni, we'll reach out and we'll say, hey, this is a good connection here, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be very intentional with these Amplify events. We want to do our best to amplify your businesses, your entrepreneur journey, and amplify you as entrepreneurs. In addition to that, to help that journey, obviously this YouTube stuff is going to stay live and live on the internets forever. But in addition to that, you're also going to get as a prize, an IG live interview or blog feature with us, which is really good for exposure and amplification. And then also a advisory session with myself or Melanie on the house, as it were. And then we are also going to get a brand strategy session and marketing analysis with our friends over at Pivot and Pilot Creative, as well as a one-on-one advisory session with our friends at Bond & Born. Bond & Born is a leader in leadership advisory and coaching services. So it can be very beneficial. I can't say enough about them because I worked with them earlier this year and it changed my life in like a short 1-month period of sessions. So really excited to pass those on as prizes, and as well as the amplification that we'll provide.
Great, thank you. All right, they're not my slides anymore. Alrighty, so okay, so yeah, let the pitches begin. So we have 5 pitchers, as I mentioned here today, all from different areas of the world, which is really exciting. So we have Cecile Post with Green Essentials here today. She's from Benelux, which I had to look up, and it's interesting. Fun fact is that it's a political economic union between Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg, which I did not know. And then we have Dallas Barnes, who's joining us from Vancouver. We have Sammy, who's joining us also from BC, from Nelson, I believe, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. We have Davina with Element Apothec, and she's joining us from California, from Los Angeles. And we have Fela with Celibata, who's joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. So we have an incredible range here today, and I'm really excited to introduce them to you all. So starting off, I'm going to invite Cecile Post of Green Essentials to join us here on the pitching stage.
Thank you, Melanie. I'm going to share my screen.
Yep.
Can you see my screen?
Looks good.
Do I need to, I see still the videos. Do I need to get them away, or is that okay?
I think you're good. So just when you're ready, feel free to just take a deep breath and start, and Isabel will begin the timer.
Great, thanks. Well, good morning, good evening, everybody. 3 minutes on the clock. I can already say doing it virtual is less scary than real life. But before I kick in what we actually do with Green Essentials, I want to make you aware of what triggered me to actually start this business. Did you know that nowadays still 80% of all shampoos are tested on animals? Or were you aware that any traditional household product that is most likely on your shelf consists SLS, which has its main characteristic that it actually irritates your skin, but they just simply use it because it gives a nice foaming experience? Or were you actually aware that only 2 to 3% of all plastic that is in the world today is recycled? I think we can do better, and I think we have to do better. So that's why we started Green Essentials. My name is Cecile Post, as Melanie just mentioned, and together with my co-founder, Pierre Elders, we launched Green Essentials earlier this year. Our headquarters is in Amsterdam, that you may know, in the Netherlands. And what we actually promise our customers is an effortless, sustainable life. How do we do this? We only sell products that have no nasties. So we guarantee you that your products have the same kind of quality, are in the same price range, but you can be sure that they're not tested on animals, that they have no toxic chemicals in them, and that you can just enjoy them with any bad feelings along. How do we actually do that? There are 3 ways how we currently sell our business model. One is we sell boxes. They're standardized boxes for household products, personal care products, or baby products. Secondly, we sell personal boxes. There you can perform a test, we give you advice, and you get the box that is suited to your needs. And lastly, you can just go to our web store and buy any product you like. Why do we do this like this? Well, we truly believe that each and every consumer is responsible to make an impact in the world, a positive impact. And maybe you don't have the time to do the research to get all the right products in your house, but we can do it for you, and you can simply enjoy the products. Who is we? Because I talked about we before. Our team nowadays consists of 5 people. Pierre, the co-founder, he's focusing on the operations and the finance. Myself, I'm responsible for the commercial part, and actually the team we have nowadays. The team we have is Bram, he's focusing on social media, Melanie, who is responsible for our website, and then we have Luna, who's running various campaigns.
30 seconds.
We started in 2020. 2020 was our tryout year. We're just warming up, but we have big plans for 2021. Our plans are actually to be more active in the Netherlands and Belgium, as we already are nowadays, but also to sell 10,000 boxes, which actually mean 10,000 sustainable households. We do that, but we need to do that by growing our product line and also grow our brand awareness. What is our ask from us to you? We're actually looking for funding to grow quicker, to work on our marketing, and to broaden our product range. So therefore, we ask for 200,000 and we would love to work with a mentor in the e-commerce business scene. So are you ready to get a more sustainable household? And do you think it's important just like us? Then please join us in our mission.
Nicely done. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cecile. It's really great to see like where you've come from when I saw you speaking last. Very cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I think I'll get you to, actually, no, I'm going to leave that up to the panelists here today if you want her to close her deck or not. So I'm going to invite, okay, so Paul says, don't close your deck. So we're not going to close the deck. Keep that up. Alrighty. So Paul, would you like to jump in first?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So good pitch, Cecile. I think that probably a bit more practice and refinement, and I think you have the potential of being actually an incredible pitcher. You're really clear and concise, and I think it just is a matter of practice, and you'll polish that up really well. So I love the sound of the business. It makes sense. As somebody who has 3 kids, I'm conscious one of my kids has kind of a adversity to harsh chemicals in their shampoo and soaps. So being aware of that, and I have a bit of eczema as well, so I'm not sure if it's from that or whatever. Sometimes you don't know, but I am conscious of it as well. So great stuff. A couple questions I had for you really quickly. One was where I think you mentioned that your headquarters is in Amsterdam. So I'm curious to know, and I think for the audience now and in the future, is where do you ship to? And then my other quick question was, you mentioned 200K that you're raising. Is that in US or in Europe?
Okay, to come back to your first question, right now we ship to the Netherlands and Belgium. And that's simply because we're based in Amsterdam, and we believe we also want to keep it sustainable. So shipping a shampoo to the US doesn't sound sustainable for us. So that's where we're currently at, but hey, always open to expand to any other region. And we're raising money in Europe.
In Euro, okay, great.
Yeah.
And I just had a really quick point of feedback is that on why I wanted to keep up the slides, you don't necessarily have to go to them, but I would recommend putting pics of your team. So pictures of your team on the team slide. I think that would go a long way. That humanization makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
That's my feedback. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. And Mira.
Congratulations, Cecile, first of all, on the launch of the product. As far as I heard, you guys already shipped it. It's a very tough product to launch, I would say, because like it involves so much production and you have to kind of work, you know, on the formula and all of that. So it's a big part of the process, and amazing job on making it happen. Amazing cause as well. It's really great that you guys are tackling such a big problem, and I do believe personally that we need to have more companies who are really conscious about ecological situation and also health issues. So I think from the presentation perspective, it was very clear. It was really well articulated, and the slides were very powerful. So I think you did a really great job on that part. My two suggestions would be one is more technical and one is more informational. So let me start from the informational one. And I think one part that I was missing is a little more about the product itself. Because I still didn't get like, how is it different from all other products? And because it's such a competitive landscape, how are you going to compete? Because there are products who are already doing that, and being this type of product, like you have to make sure your competitive strategy is really clear, and how are you standing out from the others? Because like if we go to other places like there, like, or even like to any grocery shop or places like that, like we can see such a big variety of things, and you have to be really clear on how you're delivering the value. So that was one part that I wanted to mention, is competitive landscape needs to be tackled. And then again, second part is I agree with Paul on the territorial coverage. It was really unclear to me if you're planning to do it only in Europe or coming to the US or Canada. So, and a little bit about the price point as well. Like I didn't hear how much it costs. So that would help me, and understand also the target audience. Who's the target audience? Is it for everyone? If it's for everyone, then usually the rule of thumb is to niche down and go with very clear strategy around who you're targeting. And the last point is of course, I heard a little bit about e-commerce part, but I didn't hear if it's going to be direct to consumer. Is it going to be through distribution channels? So that information, I think, for investors is really critical, because it will help us understand the scalability and how you're going to actually go and make the product happen on the territories you're interested in. And in terms of the slide and more like technical, I think one suggestion would be to talk about the team a little down the road, like not that early, because I was just introducing myself to the product and then you started to talk about the team. So I kind of like dragged my attention away from the product and started to focus on the team, which I would prefer to see probably as the last point before ask. So if you just put it there, I think that would be a little more organic and like native to the pitch.
I only have one little comment. So my recommendation would be based on what Mira just said, and thank you for that, Mira. I would encourage you to look into unit economics. I'm not going to go into a whole deep dive and lesson on that right now because we don't have the time. But write down unit economics. That all needs to be very clear and concise in your presentation, especially if you're raising money. Which is if it's something you want help with, we can help you with that at Volition. Shameless plug, but regardless of how regardless of how you get the information, I think definitely that's something you want to look into and incorporate.
Okay, many thanks for the
Amazing.
feedback.
Yeah, thanks, Paul and Mira. Sounds like what you're doing is incredible. It sounds like you've got, I mean, you are, like Paul, as Paul mentioned at the very beginning, like you're very, it feels very natural you're pitching. So it's got the makings for a great pitch, and just bringing together some of those technical pieces, what it sounds like. So very cool. So as a new thing that we have, that we're going to start doing just right now, and you're the first person to do this, before we say goodbye to you for a little bit, I would love to know, what can we, your community and audience here today and in the future, as people watch down the road, what can we do to help amplify your business?
I would love to get connected to any European investor that is interested in sustainability in this kind of business. Okay,
perfect. Introductions to investors in Europe who are interested in sustainability and this kind of business. Awesome. Everyone heard that twice. Write it down. Thank you so much. And what is the best way for us to get in contact with you?
Reach out via email. My email is cecilepost@greenessentials.com. .nl.
Perfect.
Or LinkedIn.
.nl. Okay. .nl. Netherlands. All right. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, Cecile. We'll make sure that gets into like the post-event notes so everyone can see, and it's .nl. Thank you so much for being here, Jane, for being our first pitcher of this event. If you want to learn more about Green Essentials, you can go to greenessentials.nl. You can also head over to Instagram @greenessentials.nl. So go check them out, give them some love. And thank you again, Cecile, so much for being our first here today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, so now we have our second picture up of the night, which is Dallas Barnes of Rhea Health, again, joining us from Vancouver. And a really exciting kind of tidbit about Dallas and Rhea Health is that they are currently raising a pre-seed round. So just put that in your noggin as you watch this pitch. All right, so Dallas, when you're ready, feel free to share. Hi.
Perfect.
It's great to have you back.
Let's see. Slow and steady.
Yep. It's getting there. It's getting there. There's a delay on YouTube anyways, so they're not seeing this for a few seconds. All right, is it gonna be in presentation mode?
Yeah, it should be. It's there on mine. How does it look for you guys?
You're good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there was just a short delay, but it's good now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so when you're ready, feel free to take a deep breath, and Isabel will start the clock when you start speaking.
Awesome, thanks. Hi, I'm Dallas, the founder and CEO of Rhea Health. Women are struggling to find the right birth control option. Half of women take over 2 years to find one that they like, and 75% of women are frustrated with this birth control, this trial and error experience. All too often, birth control is seen as a one-size-fits-all. Our solution is a user-centered support tool that takes an individualistic and science-based approach to match women to the best birth control option for them and to guide them throughout the birth control journey. Our service saves women time, and we have a 90% user satisfaction rate. Meet Alicia. Alicia has tried a few birth control options in the past, and all of them have made her feel unlike herself. She hears about Rhea's user-centered support tool and decides to create an online profile. We send her a Rhea starter package that includes contraceptive counseling and personalized planning tips and tools. She then completes an online questionnaire that gives us a comprehensive understanding of things like her hormonal profile, her past experience with birth control, her medical history, etc. An algorithm then combines all of this data and presents her with 1 to 3 recommendations that would be the best birth control option fits for her. We then provide a detailed explanation of why those would be right for her, and also a personalized next steps plan to help her access those options. We support her all throughout her birth control use and helping her track things like her side effects. Here's some snapshots from our working MVP. As I mentioned, we have a working prototype right now. The next step for us is to build our online platform, transitioning into a mobile app. Ultimately, we hope to include a pharmacogenomic test that helps us see how a person's genetics may influence the way that they respond to certain contraceptives. We sell direct to consumer, and we have a projected revenue of $1 million in 18 months. Over the past few months, we've onboarded a few interns. We've launched 2 versions of our MVP. We've been growing our advisory board, and we're in the first stages of our web development.
30 seconds.
Using a bottom-up analysis, our addressable market is 1.6 million users in Canada. There are other online resources out there. However, Rhea has the most individualized and simple approach. Our primary go-to-market strategy is to collaborate with high-volume health clinics like walk-ins and family practices. With 50 of these collaborations, we'll reach our revenue goals. On our team is a medical professional who has over a decade of experience in women's reproductive health. She has been the main contributor to a methodology behind our process.
3 minutes.
We're currently raising a pre-seed round to help launch our online platform and reach our revenue goals. Thank you.
All right, nicely done. Thank you so much, Dallas. And hello to those who have just joined in YouTube in the last few minutes. It's great to have you there. And we'll make sure to direct the pictures to go check out that chat, because there has been some feedback and lots of kudos and good lucks and congratulations going on in there from lots of different people from all over the world as well. So thank you to everyone who's in the chat, and keep the feedback coming in. It's really great to have that. Alrighty, so this time I'm going to invite Mira to jump in first, if you're okay with that.
Sure. Dallas, congratulations on an amazing product and really well structured pitch. There is not as many, there are not so many feedback pieces that I could give to a really well-designed pitch, because I kind of got all the necessary information that I was looking for while I was listening, and I just wanted to compliment on the idea of introducing your audience and process in such a very well-designed storytelling manner, where you said meet Alicia and then you explained the process. That part, I definitely enjoyed that, and I would recommend that to other people to consider, because it was just very easy to understand, including the understanding that you are just building the MVP. My only suggestion would be to make the slides a little lighter, especially on the problem and solution. And those are 2 slides where things got a little too heavy for me. And I could hear that, Dallas, you were giving really nice points, but my eyes were just busy trying to read the slides, you know, and then I lost it for a second. So I would recommend just to keep the numbers instead of having descriptions, because your style and the way how you talk about it is way more powerful than what is written on the slides. So it has to be your 8, while currently I think it conflicts a little bit with what you are, conflicts in the way of competes for attention. So so I would say just decide which one to go. Either it's a slide or it's you. But overall, product wise, I think one more suggestion that I would give is, if in MVP you have some better slides, then just show 1 screenshot or 2 screenshots, but do not show so many different pieces, because I would like to visualize it a little bit better. And usually the way how it works for the audience is they want to, as soon as they see the product, it feels more relatable and real. So when you kept a couple of screenshots piled on top of each other, that felt like a little too early, even though because you're building MVP, you probably way down the process and you already have some screenshots to show. So I would say just replace it with one big, nice screenshot, and then you're going to be good.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the feedback. Very helpful.
Thanks, Mira.
Thanks.
And Paul.
Yeah, so shout out to our friends over at League of Innovators, so where I originally met Dallas through, and I'm so happy to see your progress, Dallas. And so there's some key points here that I really want to hit. Can you go back one slide for me, just really quickly?
Yeah, for sure.
Ask slide.
If it will listen to me. There we go.
There's a bit of a delay. There we go. Yeah, so I think that there's a couple of key points where I think it's a real necessity for specificity in your presentation.
Okay.
Number one, a great place to start is I would love more specificity on your ask. So whether it's Volition helping you with this or somebody else, I would love to see this. I think any investor would want to know more specifically exactly what do you need. So how much are we looking at in terms of your pre-seed investment? Are you raising 200, 250? Like, what do you need to achieve those goals, right? Always remembering that the money you're raising, you need to put it to work. So how is that money going to work? Now you've got what you need to do, the goals you want to achieve, but how is that actually going to be put to work and how much do you need to do that? Another area where I would love to see more specificity, because I was waiting for it, in fact. And so that's what's great about the pitch is that you gave me the anticipation and I identify, as a man, so this is not something that would be a product for myself, but I'm cognizant of it for my wife or for the women who are in my community and my network. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. This sounds really good. This is really great. This is something that's needed on the market. What was happening for me, though, as you mentioned that it was direct to consumer, which is always heck hard to build. I'm cognizant of that. So what I wanted to hear when you were mentioning all of that about getting to $1 million in revenue, you did mention your go-to-market slide, but it was later. So I would actually encourage you, I don't think you need the market size slide, because I think anybody who knows anything, especially investors, will know that this is a large market. Nobody, honestly, almost nobody goes into a pitch saying, yeah, I don't have a very large market. Everybody has a large market, right? I'd rather you save time and have more breathing room for your marketing strategy on how you're going to get those clinics and get those customers and get to the $1 million in revenue. Because if you can quantify that specifically for me, even though not everything goes according to plan, but if you can at least tell me what the plan is, now as an investor, I can tie the ask to the plan. Because if you make both of those specific, I can look at that and go, okay, I know exactly, I see how Dallas is going to put this money to work, and I know what the result is going to be, and she has a plan to do it. And yeah, I know plans don't always go according to plan, but at least they have a plan, which is a leg up on much of your competition that you're going to be pitching against in the future. So
Great.
That's what I want to mention. So in other words, give that marketing strategy more breathing room.
Makes sense. Thank you.
And can I just add to what Paul mentioned? I forgot to mention one important point. It's not about the pitch, but I just wanted to talk about the regulations. And you probably know what was happening with 23andMe and how much problems they had last year, like in the last 2 years. So I think for investors, it's going to be one of the questions is it going to be allowed? Are you allowed to give advice on the question, on those types of like medical health related stuff? So addressing that and just being prepared. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the pitch because it was 3 minutes, but just adding maybe an addendum or like additional slide just to address that point would be really critical, because that was also one of the questions that I had in my mind. I just didn't mention it.
Great. Thank you. Great point.
Thank you so much, Mira and Paul. And again, make sure to go into the chat. We have people talking, saying awesome pitch, Dallas. And that's from Isabel. And then from Nicholas has said, great idea and a very necessary service, Dallas. And there's some other people chatting about it. So Fantastic. So before I let you go, again, what I'd love to know from you here today is what can we, your community and audience, do to amplify your business?
Yeah, if this resonates with any of you, please reach out on Instagram. We're growing a community there. That's at Rhea Health, pretty simple. Or if you know of anybody that might need some help on their birth control journey, point them in our direction. That would be really, really great.
Fantastic. And you can also check out our YouTube and go to Founder Chats, and you can watch a 30-minute chat that Dallas and I had. I can't even remember when it was. It's all kind of melding together. If you want to learn more about Rhea, about the origin stories, and a little bit more about Dallas, you can go check out that interview. You can also learn more at rheahealth.ca, and you can find Dallas on LinkedIn at Dallas J. Barnes as well. So lots of ways to connect with Dallas if you resonate with what she's doing and want to learn more. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Thanks, Melanie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was great. It was great catching up.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. All righty. I'm just gonna, okay, perfect. All right, so we have our third picture up here today, wherever you are today, which is Sammy from Certicraft. And I know I think Certicraft is in YouTube, and I saw Cast is also in the YouTube hanging out there, so you can say hi to your fans. And on that point, I want to congratulate Sammy and the team as they just won the inaugural Kootenai Pitch competition just last week, which is fantastic. So congratulations. Woo!
Thank you so much.
Cool. Alrighty, so whenever you're ready, I see you already got it up there. Feel free to start.
Woo. My heart is beating so fast. I get so anxious. For some reason, I have like the opposite experience of Cecilia. It's the online versions where I don't have an audience, where I get like, wah.
Yeah. We all react differently. Just take a deep breath. We're on your side.
All right. I'm just gonna get my own timer going here, so I have a reference and get into it. Can you guys see the screen? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Sammy. I'm the CEO of Certicraft, and we are on a mission to help craft cannabis growers transition into and thrive within the new regulated market here in Canada. 2 years ago, Canada legalized cannabis for adult recreational use. What you might not know is that legalization has largely been a failure. And it's been a failure because the craft cannabis industry has not transitioned into the new market. Now, craft cannabis is the highest quality flower that you can get in the world. It's the cannabis equivalent of craft beer, and it's what consumers want, and they're proving that with their dollars, with well over 70% of the purchases taking place in the cannabis industry today taking place outside of this new regulated framework. Now, there's tens of thousands of these craft growers in Canada, and they actually do want to transition. They fought to legalize cannabis, but now that legalization is here, they're not transitioning because it's too hard and too expensive to get licensed. It's too hard and too expensive to stay licensed once you have a license. And the solution to this is pretty simple. Make it easy. Make it easy to get licensed. Make it easy to stay compliant once you have a license. And that's what we're doing at Certicraft. Like I said before, our mission is to help craft cannabis growers transition into and thrive within the new regulated market. Our first product is a compliance platform that helps growers stay on top of all their records and stay audit ready. It's the only all-in-one solution for small to medium operations here in Canada, which means we guide growers through their compliance requirements. We generate all the reports that they need for them. And as a result, we save them dozens and dozens of hours every single month. We've grown entirely through word of mouth to 16 paying customers with $7,500 in monthly recurring revenue. With an additional 20 pre-orders, once they become licensed, we'll be sitting on $18,500 in MRR. And we've done all this on a shoestring budget. Our customer acquisition cost is under $100, and we are closing over 60% of the leads that come into our funnel. And so I think we're doing something right. And over the next few months, we're going to be converting this validated sales process into a scalable sales engine. And that's why we are looking to raise capital right now, but more on that later. In the space that we're in, we have a few competitors, but all of them are focused on the needs of large corporations, and most of them have interfaces that look like that. This makes no sense for a farmer, no sense for a gardener, and in fact, it adds a whole bunch of extra work to an already busy life. Certicraft, on the other hand, saves people tons of times, and our user experience is selling itself, and that's why we're closing over 60% of the leads that come into our funnel.
30 seconds.
As for the team, myself, I'm Sammy. I'm leading the project. I went to Harvard on a full scholarship where I got a degree in computer science. I've built 6 platforms prior to this one. Not enough time to talk about Nick and Giles, but they're awesome. You can take my word for that. We're also part of 3 really kick-ass programs to help us build that scalable sales funnel, sales engine, excuse me. And we're looking for $750,000 right now to make the hires that we need, more developers, salespeople, marketing, the team, so we can put together that scalable sales engine, keep the top of our funnel full, accelerate our growth, and become profitable before the end of next year. Thanks for your time. If you're interested in having a chat, my email is right there. And that's it.
The end. Thanks,
end.
Sammy. Thanks. There's a lot of people in the chat saying, "Go, Sammy, go!" and whoop whoop.
Ah,
So
sweet.
there you go.
Thanks,
You've got
fans. You're the best.
people in your corner. I love it. All right. So I know that Paul has seen your pitch and is a little bit biased himself potentially. So I'm going to actually invite Mira. If you want to go first again, I would love to have you join us.
Yeah, sure. Well, I enjoyed, Sammy, the presentation a lot. And the reason for that is because it didn't sound like a pitch. It sounded like you were just telling me a story about your company with additional slides. And I think that was very natural, organic, really well articulated pitch. So congratulations on making it happen. Second thing is congratulations on delivering the information and owning the metrics, because I think that was a very impressive part for me. The way how you just explained everything, including like giving, in 3 minutes, giving that much information in the way so I can also digest it. I think that's kind of a really, really well articulated part for you. For me, I think I just don't have as many feedback regarding the slides or content. Maybe for some people, like one thing that wasn't necessarily clear to me was the pricing point, and then the business strategy from the perspective of recurring. You mentioned recurring, and in my head, it kind of, what is going to be the recurring about that? As like if the customer is getting through licensing and getting that, what is the recurring component to it? So that was like, what is the continuity of the experience that you're providing people with? Because for me, it feels like, okay, so I'm done. Okay, now I'm legalized. I can go and I have all my licenses in my hands. What else can I do? So from the business scalability perspective, I guess, like if you just could add maybe somewhere, or
yeah,
just
I think I can add a sentence to
information.
really clarify what it's about, because there's
like MRR
it's good
part.
to know it's not clear.
Like MRR part was the question part for me, because it felt like one-off deal to me, or just like one license or something. But I think overall, I think like competition was really clear. The storytelling, the ask was clear to me. I really liked your slide with the market and explaining the problem, because I didn't know that the problem like this exists. And my question would be like, why are you focusing on Canada only? Do you have in your plans to expand to other markets where there's potentially the same problem? Because I don't think it's only in Canada. That would be
a North America wide problem.
Yeah. So like that would probably be my question as an investor in terms of the scalability of that, because it's a limited, for me, it feels like it's a limited amount of customers who exist on the market. You mentioned the number, but I mean, like as soon as you hit that number, what's going to happen next? So are you going to go to the next market and roll out there? So that is probably just the scalability question. But apart from that, like slide wise, I think it was very impressive. Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
Thanks, Mira. And do you have anything to add, Paul?
I do. Mine will be relatively quick, though. What I'm going to say to you, Sammy, is I've gotten to see this pitch a few times now. And what I'm going to say to you now is I'm actually going to add a bit of a fire and pressure to you. And what that fire and pressure is I need you to hurry up and get the sales engine figured out. And whether that's with Volition or with the other partners that you're working with, I think your ask was for $750K, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think it's a bit disjointed. If I look at it as an investor, I don't want to hear, for $750K, I don't really want to hear you ask for money to develop the sales engine. I kind of want you to tell me what your sales engine is and then ask for the money. So basically, think of it this way: as like we're building the bonfire, or we're building the campfire, and we're asking you to help us buy the wood and the fuel for the fire. So we already have the base of it built, and we know what we need, but now we need to add some rocket fuel to it. So yeah, I would really encourage you, and I'm gonna give you a bit of pressure to, I know you got a lot to do, but I would encourage you to get that done, because I think it will really validate that 750K. It'll increase your chances for success, is my suspicion.
Yeah, and we're operating on the assumption that we're not going to raise capital, and we're going down just increasing revenue path. So we are doing that either way. And I think if we don't raise the capital that we want, the time frame that we want, then at some point the pitch is going to shift to, hey, we've put this together. Give us money so we can do this faster.
Great.
Oh, great. Thank you. Awesome. And people in chat are saying, Nicholas has said, bellissima. And Camille has nice pitch.
Bellissima.
Exactly. Alrighty. So, Sammy, as your community and your audience, what can we do for you to help amplify your business?
Yeah, so we just wrapped up our pilot project over the summer, and for the past 3 months, we've been trying to actually connect with our industry for the first time and get out there. There's about 4 or 5 or so craft growers getting licensed every single week right now, and most of them don't know about us because we're just starting on the marketing journey. So if anybody has any connections to small to medium operations in the cannabis space, if they've heard of any company that's been complaining about how much they hate their compliance software or their what's typically called seed to sales software, we would love any and all connections to our target market.
Awesome. And what is the best way for us to connect you to these people?
That's a good question. I'm going to share my screen one more time here. And that email right there, sammy@certicraft.com, you can connect them to there. Alternatively, they can go to certicraft.com, and where there's any of the links they press will take them to a form they can fill out that'll connect them right to us, and somebody from our team will reach out to them. And there's also a video we have on YouTube introducing our company that's like an 8-minute overview of the company and the products that we are working on, which will give any potential interested person a really good overview of who we are and what we're all about.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Sammy, and congratulations again on your win at CAST. You can also check out and connect with Certicraft on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So that's on Twitter, Certi, or I guess Certi_craft. On LinkedIn and on Facebook, it's just Certicraft. So make sure to go check that out, connect with them, go see that video on YouTube, and check out certicraft.com. So thank you so much again, Sammy. It was really great to meet you. I don't think we've met yet. I've heard about you, but I hadn't met you yet. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Volition. This is awesome. I really appreciate you guys putting this on, and looking forward to seeing the next couple of pitches.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks. Alrighty. So speaking of which, we have our fourth, hi, Sammy. We have our fourth pitcher, 4 out of 5 pitchers, who is going to be joining us now. So this is Davina with Element Apothic. And once again, she's joining us from LA in California. Alrighty. So do you, whenever you're ready, feel free to share your screen. Oh, I did learn a fun fact, which was that Davina and Dallas were in a, what was it called? The Guild, what was that?
The Guild Academy.
A Guild Academy together in the summer. We had no idea. So small world, fun fact. I love that. So whenever you're ready, Davina, feel free to just take a deep breath and start your pitch.
Great. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name's Davina, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Element Apothic. Element Apothic is a new, clean, and luxurious CBD brand, redefining the body care and wellness industry, positioned to be a market leader by meeting the needs of today's conscious consumer. Element Apothic was born in a kitchen, not a lab. When my aunt couldn't find safe products to help with multiple medical conditions, she created products for herself and countless others. Today, with our medical advisory team, we are taking these products from the kitchen to the world. The problem today is that consumers don't know who or what to trust. Personal care products are filled with toxins and harmful ingredients. People are increasingly concerned about what goes in and on their bodies and are demanding more from the brands they use. COVID-19 has only increased this demand. The problem in the CBD space is that brands are churning out low-quality products filled with harmful ingredients with zero innovation, no medical oversight, and no transparency. The solution is AMPLFIFY. AMPLFIFY is the trustworthy brand that conscious consumers are demanding. We have created clean, safe, and highly effective products with medical oversight and are committed to complete transparency. Our never ever promise is our commitment to the consumer that we will never ever use any harmful or banned ingredients in any of the products we create. We are leading the market with innovative formulations utilizing not just CBD, but other minor cannabinoids such as CBG, CBN, and plant-based remedies. We have a big commitment to education, and as a public benefit corp, we are dedicated to truly bettering the world around us. This includes sustainability and our pledge to not impact the environment. And the market opportunity is growing rapidly. Not only are we impacted and have availability to the CBD market, but we can access the 240 million new consumers that are coming to the market and the projected $3.5 trillion wellness space. And you can see our financials are aggressive, but we believe that with the needs of the consumer, we can meet these goals. We have an overall unit economics of 3-to-1. Our team has been built to meet these goals. Our team has over 60 years relevant experience, including our chief medical advisor and our chief scientific advisor, who are leading the path in their industry. To reach our customers, we have a marketing plan that reaches several aspects to build our funnel from top to bottom. Our business model is B2C, B2B, subscriptions, and ambassadors. Our milestones to date is that we have received key retail partnerships with Showfields, Cal Ethos, and have several wholesale commitments, as well as receiving pending B Corp certification, 1% for the planet, CertClean certification, Clear for Me, and Leaping Bunny. We are currently raising $500,000 with a convertible note, and will use these funds for product inventory, marketing, and general operating expenses. You may be asking yourself, why AMPLFIFY? It's trust, plain and simple. Invest now and join us on our journey to set a new standard in clean science. AMPLFIFY, never ever anything but good. Thank you.
Nicely done. All righty. Fantastic. Okay, we've got your contact us slide up here. That's great. So for this one, Paul, I know that you have seen Davina's pitch before, but I think it was a little while ago. So I'm going to ask you to join us here first as our panelist.
Yeah, thank you. So Davina, great work, awesome progress. I think the first, if I remember right, the first time that I saw you pitch, I was for a virtual pitch US event that we had, I think. And so great progress. My comment to you would be that I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. So the great place that you're in is that you have some market validation, right? So you have some early pre-sales, you've started getting customer validation. You know, I get the great thing that your presentation did for me is that I got the sense that you know your market, you know how to get it, and you are now at a point where you're like, I'm gonna drive sales out of this and I'm gonna grow this business. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the impression I got. So the presentation did a really good job of that. With that said, I think there's some elements, pardon the pun, but there's some elements that you can potentially remove and give more breathing space. Because I think what happened was it felt a bit rushed through the financials and the business model and the money modeling. And I think that actually I would love, and I expect and anticipate that investors would love to hear this as well, or anyone who you're looking to connect with in terms of community or network or distribution or anything like that. They're going to want to, I love the fact that you included the unit economics, and that's kind of what I was alluding to with Green Essentials. The fact that you incorporated that, but I think it needed more breathing room. So I think that, you know, I know we're tight on time, so I don't want to get you to go back all through your slides, but you know, I certainly could help you with this, but I think there's some things where you could have less concentration, even more towards the beginning, less concentration on all of that, and more on the validation, the pre-sales, what you've seen so far, and how you're going to grow that and scale it. So like, what's the next steps essentially? Because you know it, so show it off, is my view.
Great, that's really helpful.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. And Mira, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, a couple of points. First of all, Davina, thank you for an amazing presentation. I really, really enjoyed it again. And I think the amount of, like, it's very clear that you really, really own all your numbers and the market. And that's always really great to see. I would probably suggest to create another version of this deck that is pitch deck versus investor deck, because it has all the necessary information for more in-depth investor related stuff, but not necessarily for pitch. It's a little too heavy for pitch slides. So I was like looking at all of that and I was thinking, oh, this is great, but I wasn't having time to read it. So that's just like technical point. But overall, in terms of the concept, I guess from the marketing perspective, one suggestion that I would give is, you mentioned in the problem that your problem is that the consumer doesn't know what to select. And that by itself is not a problem, because it's everywhere. We have so many different products in each category that the customer doesn't know what to select all the time. So I guess your problem should be more in what kind of problem you're solving for a customer with the product, but not the selection problem. So I would say to rephrase that a little bit. Because otherwise it becomes a little too generic, and then decide on the competitive edge, like to be a little more clear where you're competing. It's usually 3 axes or like 3 verticals, which is, one is the price point, the second one is the quality, and the third one is the customer service, or like customer love that you give to the people, and which one you are going to be competing on, because there are so many different products on the market that you have to be really, really clear on your competitive edge, I think.
Great, thank you. That's really nice and helpful.
Thanks, Mira. So there's that noise I just heard. I don't know if other people heard that, but I was actually going to make a point about this, which is that I don't know if that's coming from your end, Davina. There's like a scratchy sound that was coming up during your pitch. And so in the virtual space, just being really aware of that. Sometimes it has to do with how you're wearing your earphones, and your hair might be kind of hitting them. And sometimes it has to do if you're like switching pages or something like that, and it just sounds like a scratchy sound, and it cut off kind of like little bits of your pitch, not very, very, very like short, but it's something that from a delivery perspective is really good to know about in that virtual space. So to be aware of, I don't know what it is tech wise, but just being aware of that piece. Alrighty, so while I have you, Dina, my question for you, as you heard me ask the others, is what can we as your community and your audience here today, what can we do to amplify your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point we're ready to launch. So obviously anyone helping to spread the word about our products, and we have a great pre-sale wait list on our site right now that'll offer a tremendous discount when we actually start our pre-sale next week, which is amazing. And also introductions to partnerships, wholesale retailers and things like that would be interested in carrying our products. We're targeting everything from practitioner offices to wellness centers and high-end specialty stores. So any type of introductions for that. And I am actually looking to bring on a marketing mentor to help ensure that we have the best marketing plan, because the space is so competitive that we really have to be able to cut through the noise.
Absolutely.
And Mira's here, so.
So I was gonna say Mira. That's you.
Mira is amazing. I was just gonna ask, can I assume that's only in the US, right, for now?
Yeah, unfortunately it's only in the US. We are looking to expand and potentially doing a show in the UK in January. But there's just a lot of regulations around shipping our products over different country lines right now. Hopefully that'll change in the future.
In the near future, hopefully in January. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And it looks like the best way for people to get a hold of you to make those introductions is davina@elementapothic.com. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. Well, congratulations on your upcoming pre-sale and on trying to get in not trying to, I'm sure you'll get into these new markets in the new year. So congratulations in advance for that. And for those watching here today, or if you're watching later, go check out elementapothic.com if you want to learn more. They're also on all of the socials. So it's on Twitter, it's eApothic. That's what I'm trying to say. Instagram is elementapothic. LinkedIn, it's elementapothic as well, and same with YouTube. So you can check out them kind of all over the place and make sure to help spread the word. So thank you again, Davina. Really appreciate you being here today. Alrighty. I'm just going to stop your screen share. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So we have our 5th pitcher who's joining us here today from Lagos, Nigeria. So this is Fela. I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly. So please feel free to let me know if I'm not. With Salubata.
Salubata, yeah.
Salubata. Okay, perfect. Okay, and it's really exciting. I just want to pre-congratulate you because I have this news here that you were the overall winner of the 200 pitches of the Africa Innovation Week 2020, and that you'll be representing Africa in San Francisco at the grand finale of the Startup World Cup in May 2021. So those are
thank you so much.
Incredible. I'm really excited to hear your pitch here, and it's really nice to meet you. So as soon as you're ready, I see you've got your slides up. So feel free to get going as soon.
Does he want to turn his video on? Yeah.
Your video is off. Yes. I don't know if you're aware of that or not.
So my video's on now.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's now screening. Now it's sharing your desktop. So I'm not sure why that would happen.
Sorry.
Let's just go back to his presentation. While he's doing that, I just wanted to say, I believe it's also our first pitcher ever in any of our events from Lagos, Nigeria. We recently had somebody from Africa in Pitch Mastermind named Linda, who had a company called I can't remember what's Linda something. Anyway,
Nylinda.
Yes, Nylinda. Yeah.
Right.
So really excited to have you here. So thanks very much for joining us.
For some reason, the video's still not.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, wait a minute.
So my video,
what's happening here?
My video's on.
It's
video's on, but
can you see my video?
The Zoom overlay is over your presentation.
Yeah, can you click on your presentation?
Can you see my presentation? Can you see it now?
Okay, so we can see your presentation, but the Zoom, I can see me talking.
There we
go.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Oh,
got it.
Oh, but he disappeared again. Okay, you know what? It seems like this is just not. We're not going to be. Oh, there we go. We can see you. Okay, we're perfect. We're perfect.
No,
Let's keep it.
He's good. It's good.
Okay. Good. Okay, perfect.
All right. Can I go ahead, please? Can I go ahead? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. My name is Fela, and I'm the CEO and also a co-founder of the brand Salubata.
Now his presentation.
Sorry, we lost.
And at Salubata.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
We lost your presentation there for a second again. But it's back.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Let's hope this works.
Now
yes.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good now.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Fela, and I'm the CEO and also the co-founder at the brand Salubata. And what we do at Salubata is we simply make shoes from recycled plastic waste. Over the past few months, we've been able to bootstrap a revenue of about over $80,000 and also have over 900 recurrent paying customers. We've also gone ahead to further validate our course by winning at these national, regional, and global competitions. So here is our team. Here is Babalola James, our project manager and our quality assurance person. I'm the shoe designer and environmental expert. Here is Aditon Omoko. He's our business developer and also a professional fashion photographer. So the question is, why do we do what we do? So in a year alone, we realized that there are over 381 million tons of plastic waste produced. Now, the sad part of this is that just only about 9% of this waste have ever been recycled. Now, that's really sad. We have another recurrent phenomenon whereby we have a lot of recycling companies around, but the volume of the plastic waste in the environment not only remains constant, but also more in the environment. And so we realize that we have more people using this plastic waste rather than recycle or cycle this plastic waste. So that has actually kept the volume of the plastic waste more in the environment. So right now, we have over 5 trillion plastics still floating in our oceans today. So with a background in environmental science and in shoe design, we started imagining if we could convert all of this plastic waste to footwear. We also realized that the potential for impact is so huge. And that is the reason why we decided to occupy this niche of recycled low-cost plastic shoes that makes a profit while also benefiting people and planet. And so here is our invention. So we currently have a patent on our invention and also 2 design rights. Now, compared to what our competitors are offering, our shoes are low cost and also modular in nature. And so here is, we sell our $44 and make our $13.5 to direct our end customers. Here's our go-to-market strategy. Then because we realized that the downhill impact of this pollutant affect the people in the underserved communities the most, especially the women. That is why we contribute 5% of the profit on each shoe sold to the cost of empowering women in these communities. And so in a year alone, we'll have contributed over $6.6 million of our profit to the cost of empowering these women. And also our target for the global annual footwear market share is $132 million in revenue per annum. And that is growing. And also we'll have also saved over 40 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions per annum. Our roadmap, we started in 2018. We've been able to reach our first 1,000 customers.
30 seconds.
By 2024, we plan to initiate a franchise system. We've been able to raise over $25,000 from family and friends, won competitions in about $14,000 in cash and 100K AWS credits. We've been able to bootstrap $80,000 in revenue, and also our current revenue averages around $6,000 per month. Lastly, we are seeking a seed funding of $1 million to scale to major African cities, Asia, and Europe, and Americas. And these are how these funds will be split. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And thanks for bearing with us with the technical piece in the beginning.
Yes, quiet. It's all right.
Oh, I can see myself talking, so
Thank
I'm
you
just
so
gonna
much.
stop sharing. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to invite Paul. Would you like to, because I did kind of Paul, Mira, Paul. So yeah, Paul, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I'll take us home. Fella, greatly impressive. I can see why you're winning awards all over the place because, I mean, this is so inspirational and so innovative.
Thank you.
I'm greatly impressed, and I'm sure a lot of other people are and will be continually. I think what might do you well is similar to what I said to Davina for Element Apothic, is I think what you could do well with is maybe concentrating a bit more on the numbers, because you're past the need for validation. Okay, you've validated your market, you've got sales. In fact, you've got very impressive sales for somebody who's selling a shoe, which is not an easy thing to do, right? Yeah. You're in an industry that's difficult. So you're past the validation point. I would actually rather hear you have more breathing room, so to speak, for the numbers. And again, those unit economics. You had them there, which is fantastic. Like, here's our cost. So great. What I was missing is, well, there's 2 key points to that. Is number one, why I want you to have more breathing room is because I think I need you to slow down. I think you're just naturally a fast talker. So I think the whole thing kind of felt a bit steamrolled, in the sense of like, it was very fast. And I know it's only 3 minutes, I get that. But my suspicion is that in any scenario, whether it was 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I think you're naturally a fast talker. So I think what happened was no matter what the length of the pitch, you'd always kind of be really fast. So I'd rather give you more breathing room to talk about the numbers and the business of it. Okay. So what I missed though is the key piece that I really missed was where and how are you selling? So is this,
all right, yes.
Is this direct to consumer online? Is this, because I don't know, pardon my ignorance, I don't know what the common sales pipeline is in Lagos, Nigeria. Like, are you selling in stores? Are you selling e-commerce? Like, how are you selling this? You don't have to answer that. I think that would be really important to know. And I wanted to ask a really quick question. Another one that a lot of, obviously there's no lack of plastic in the world. We have more than enough to go around. And you already said like there's tons in the ocean. I think what a lot of investors that I've heard before on plastic retrieval and circular economy, because that's essentially what you're building, is the circular economy. A lot of questions that I ask from, or I hear from investors about that is, how are you retrieving the plastic? Because not all of it is usable. A lot of it is dirty plastic. So what's the retrieval and cleaning process? You don't have to tell us the whole process, but how that you've got that sorted out. And then there is a connection I'm gonna make for you with a friend of mine from Plastic Bank, David Katz, that I think would be an amazing connection for you, because they collect the plastic and clean it and provide it to companies like Adidas and so on and so forth. So I think they'd be a great resource for you. And they're in Lagos, Nigeria. So they're from Vancouver originally, but there as well. I'll end up there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Mira, what would you like to add?
Well, Fela, congratulations. And it was a very impressive presentation. And so doing the social enterprise related business, it's just my, I'm very fond of that. So congratulations on bringing the mission and the heart, and also driving business out of it. So I have only a couple of suggestions for you. So one is about your slides. It was a little too much information for me. I would probably distill it down to only 1 or 2 numbers, because again, like as Paul mentioned, you are a really fast talker. So I was trying to capture you and also read the slides. Then the second thing that I wanted to mention is you have a gem there, a hidden gem. So you're already generating sales and competing with some larger brands such as Nike and Adidas and all of those guys. So me as a marketer, and I think investors will be interested in that, they will want to know how you did that, because it's a very brand-driven business, and you being really new to the market is already capturing your own market. How are you doing that? If you share that secret sauce that you have, which I probably think is the quality of the product that you deliver with a good price. So if you just be a little clearer on that and be a little more deliberate and intentful about communicating that, I think that will elevate your pitch to the next level in terms of the power that it can bring. And also the second thing that I wanted to mention is, in the beginning, you introduced 2 numbers, which was 80,000 in revenue, 900 customers. So for me, in my mind, it's like, okay, the cost per shoe is $80. And I'm like, this is not cheap. So for me, that doesn't seem like it was affordable. So for me, created this mental friction of thinking, how are you making business out of it? Or am I like, so I was like, I caught myself in trying to calculate that. So I guess like you have to be a little clearer if the numbers are correct, or just remove, if you want to impress people with their revenue, then remove the number of customers, or vice versa. So I would say to be a little clearer, because as far as I know, investors are really analytical. They'll try to make the calculations while you talk. And then if that number is not working for them and the price is actually $40, not 88, then it will be like, so does fella actually know his numbers, and which one is not correct? I get it. Yeah, so I guess like that part was a little rough for me, but overall it was really great. So congrats, and hopefully you're gonna win that competition that you're gonna be participating in.
In San Francisco,
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I am going to ask Paul's question though. Are you selling online? Can people here today buy the shoes?
Yes, sir. We can buy it right away. You could just go to our website. You can just type Salubata on Google to take you directly to our website. And so virtually over 90% of our sales go via online. So we sell everywhere in the world. So you can buy anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. Now we all know we can buy them. That's fantastic. Okay, so I do want to mention to everyone that we are running about 10 minutes behind, I will say. We had some technical issues at the beginning, so I apologize for that. But before, I would love if you can stay on. I know there's still people hanging out on YouTube and cheering everyone on, so thank you for staying. And I'd love to hear from you, Fela. What is one thing that we who are here today, as well as if we're watching this later on, what can we do to amplify your business?
All right. Yes. So thank you so much. First, I must say that we know we have some things to do about our branding and communication. So we'd really need a partner that could help us do that. And aside that, we're also looking for, for funding to scale. So an investment partner will also be really cool in that regards too. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, fantastic. Sounds good. And what's the best place that we can connect with you? What's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, so personally, it's you can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's just Fela Bui. Then you could also come via our website. You can just mail us directly via our website. And, on Instagram, we're very active on Instagram. It's Salubata Official. So you can give us a DM and all. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, it looks like you're also on Twitter and LinkedIn, but oh no, you already mentioned that as well. But Instagram, I will make sure to start following you and see what you're up to. So sounds good. Everyone go to salubataofficial.com and you can check out more and pick out your favorite shoes. So there you go. Thank you so much, Bella, for joining us today. Really appreciate it. It's always hard to go last too. So thank you so much for your patience in being our fifth pitcher here today. Alrighty, so yeah, no, of course. It was great to hear from everyone and meet. Did I freeze for a second? I think I'm back. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I don't disappear again. I don't know what happened. Alrighty, so at this point in time, what we're going to ask everyone to do, we're going to get our slide up. Do you want me to do that, Isabel, or do you? I'm kind of scared of my whole thing crashing.
I can do it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Alrighty, so if you want to head over to buzzit.ca and you can put in the event key Amplify, all those who are here in the room. So this is for pitchers as well as panelists, as well as everyone who's hanging out live on YouTube. So if you're joining us later on, unfortunately, this is a live voting kind of situation, but everyone who's there, please do head over to buzzit.ca, put in Amplify. I don't think it's case sensitive, is it?
Nope.
It's not case sensitive. There you go. And you can vote on your top pitcher here today. And we have some rewards for that top pitcher. Of course, we're always honored and impressed by everyone who comes to our events and pitches with us. And I think it was really great seeing some new pitches as well as seeing some that we hadn't seen in a little while. So thank you to all of our pitchers for coming and sharing your pitch. Alrighty, so we usually give a couple minutes for people to do this. I'll let you do your thing. And I think we will tell you about what's coming up. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so what do we have coming up? That's a great question. So as I mentioned earlier on, we do Instagram founder chats every week. We have one with Alice, for instance. So you can check that out on our Instagram. So that is every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time these days. And we actually, this week though, I lie because this week it's actually, ooh, I just said that completely wrong actually. So usually it's Tuesdays. This week it's Thursday. And that's because we had this event today. So we have upcoming on Thursday, our partners over at Pivot and Pilot are going to be joining us. That'll be Rebecca. So we're going to be talking about design and their origin stories of Pivot and Pilot and what they're up to and our partnership with them and all the things. So if you want to check that out, that's this Thursday. And then we're going to go back to our usual programming of Tuesdays. So November 24th, next week, I'm going to be talking to Antonia McGrath, who I met in person in Amsterdam last October, and she was one of the top 3 pitchers at that event. So I'm really excited to reconnect with her and see what they're up to. We're going to keep doing those until about mid-December, and then we'll start up again in January. We also have our 100th pitch event, which is very exciting, coming up on December 10th. This is going to be a Volition Pitch Alumni Showcase. So we're going to have, I believe, 11 different pitchers who, some of them go back 5 years with us, and we haven't actually seen them pitch in a couple of years, and they've done lots of work in the meantime. And then some are people that we've just met in the past few months. So we have a really broad range of people coming, again, from all across North America and Europe. So we're going to be doing a showcase of them, which should be really fun. It won't be feedback like this one because 11 companies is a lot, but you'll have lots of opportunity in Zoom. So it won't be live streamed, but in Zoom to interact with the people who are pitching a little bit more. So we also have a couple of other partnered events coming up. One is this Saturday. That's the Canadian Small Business Women Young Entrepreneurs Pitch Conference. So that is going to be showcasing 6 finalists. They've gone through a whole process of applications and semi-finalist pitches that they put on YouTube. People voted. all the things. And then now we have 6 finalists who are going to be joining us at the conference. It's an all-day conference with lots of different kinds of content. Some of Volition's advisors are going to join for that and provide some workshops, which should be really good. And there's going to be some panels with government and with entrepreneurial women across Canada, I believe. And then there's going to be this final pitch contest. So do check that out at CanadianSmallBusinessWomen.ca, and that is this upcoming Saturday. Then December 3rd, we have Langara College Student Showcase. So we work with a couple of different colleges and universities to help showcase students from their different programs. This one's coming up. We do this, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year. I can't actually recall.
Yeah, for each term.
Something like that, yeah. And so Paul's actually can probably speak better to this as he is the teacher of the program, or one of the teachers in the program. So if you want to jump in and tell us a little bit more about that event as we wait for our votes to come in, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, well, as an instructor at Langara, in this particular case, it's part of a web mobile design and development program. So they've gone through 4 terms. They're designers and developers, highly talented. I know I'm biased because I'm an instructor there, but there is some incredible talent. So if you're scoping out dev and design talent, this is a great opportunity to come and see these showcases. So essentially what they're doing is I teach them business and marketing in terms of that program, and then they have all their other learnings. So they present their capstone projects as if they are real businesses. So they have built full working database, web app, mobile app. They do a full demo pitch, business, marketing, everything all in one presentation as if it's a real business. And then there's a group of panel judges that will give them feedback and Q&A, and they win prizes and hopefully connections for their future jobs in the future. So the last one we had, 7 students got hired as a result of the event. So it was amazing. So highly impressive and recommended to everybody. And it's the low price of free.
Yes, that's free. I think these, no, CSBW is not a free event, but the other ones all are. So please do join us. We'd love to see you there. And I believe that our Volition Pitch Alumni Showcase just went live on Eventbrite. I know we say to go volitionadvisors.com/events here, but the plugin from Eventbrite for virtual events to our website is not super great right now. So I would suggest going to Eventbrite and looking up Volition Advisors, and you can see that event. But we are going to be launching a new website soon, so we'll have dealt with that. I want to also thank everyone. I know we're just wrapping up pitches. I think we got all them in our votes. We got all them in now. I wanted to thank everyone who's joined us on YouTube, whether you join live or later on. It was really great seeing all the comments come in. A lot of people saying congratulations to all the pitchers. We have one from Josiah here that says Fela's pitch was pure fire, great innovation, which is really fun. So yeah, thank you so much for getting in there and hanging out in the chat and giving your feedback and congratulations and all the things. It's really great. It's been really great to see that. All right, I think that we should be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Oh, right, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That as well. So that as well, you're here right now. If you're here right now on YouTube, you probably found us some way. Please do make sure to subscribe so you can hear about our upcoming live streams, as well as when we also put a new video up. Clearly I'm new to YouTube, but when we put a new video up, which happens weekly, then you'll get a notification as well. So
as my 6-year-old says, I have to repeat what he says.
That as well.
Can you mute, Fela?
That as well. You're here right now. If you're here right now on YouTube, you probably found us some way.
Can you mute, Fela?
We can hear someone's.
About
can you mute, Fela?
I'm trying to find it.
When we.
There we go.
So to say it like my 6-year-old says it, but Dad, you got to like and subscribe. So there you go. So make sure you like and subscribe.
There you go. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Yeah, so if you're watching YouTube, please turn that off. And otherwise, I can just hear my voice and I don't know what's happening and it's confusing. So otherwise, I'd like to, invite all of the pitchers to turn on your video if you so choose. And we're going to announce our We have one winner here tonight. We usually have 3, but that's because we usually have 8 companies. But with 5 companies, we have 1 here this evening or day or whatever it is. But once again, incredible job to all of the pitchers. It was really great to get to see everything that you're up to, everything that you've been up to lately. Really cool. Okay, so Paul, did you want to do it together or do you want me to just say it? Sometimes we do and think.
You go ahead.
Okay, I think I froze there for a moment anyways. Am I back?
You're good.
Yes, I'm back. Okay. Okay, so our top pitch for today's first ever Amplify Volition live pitch is AMPLFIFY. Woo-woo! Oh, I froze and didn't know what was happening. Nicely done. Okay, there you are. I was like, okay. Nicely done, Davina. But again, to everybody, really great job. Fantastic. We'll follow up with you, Davina, on the top pitch awards. But I'd also love to invite Mira. Do you have any kind of closing comments you wanted to make here today?
No, I don't think so. I'm good.
Awesome. And Paul, any closing remarks?
I'll do it on behalf of Mira. I will say to all the companies that if any of you need marketing assistance, Mira is an incredible marketing advisor, and every single client of ours or programming partner that she works with has incredible things to say. I know I'm biased being that she's part of the team, but if anybody needs help with that, I highly recommend that you reach out to her. If you need help with pitch, presentation, investor prep, of course, reach out to myself. And we'll put our emails into the YouTube chat and so on and so forth. I do want to say all of you are, I know this is lame sometimes to hear, but you're all winners. You all did an amazing job. I really do believe that. And the feedback that you got today, I really liked this format and first test. But I want to say that it doesn't stop here because, like I said, we're going to continue to amplify your message. And I've personally written down a bunch of things that I'm thinking that I can help all of you with. So, and I'm not talking about like trying to sell my services. I'm talking about like connections that I can potentially make or things like that. So, yeah, so fantastic work and way to go, everybody.
Absolutely. Alrighty, nicely done. Isabel, what do you need from us?
If I could just get a screenshot with Davina and Paul and Melanie, that would be wonderful. I already have one of everyone else, so that's.
So
what about Mira?
We already have one. Oh no, Mira, yeah, because the panelist, yes. So before we kind of that last picture, and I know some pictures will kind of drop off at that point in time. Pictures, just wanted to let you know, is there any final remarks that you wanted to contribute actually as well, or are you feeling good?
Just want to say thank you.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
all at the same time. Yes.
What Dallas said.
Thank you. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, no, it was our pleasure. It was fun. Thank you all so much. And you know us, we'll be in touch for sure. Okay, so Davina, keep video on. Paul, Mira, me?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, I'll stop live streaming as well. So it's really nice to see everyone on YouTube. Thanks so much for coming, and we will